everybody, welcome to Happy Healthy You. This is a special edition with my favorite empowerment expert, Julie Riesler. She's been on the podcast so many times. She's my favorite, and we just got back from Joy Camp. So we did a little recap on the podcast. How much fun did we have at Joy Camp?
Like crazy amounts of fun.
Show everybody your mala.
So awesome. All right, so I'm wearing it today as a bracelet, but what I want to show you is it has these stones that are called rose quartz, and that is all about self-love.
We talked about that.
I know, we talked about this.
And then you made it happen.
And then I have this, and it says, exhale love only. I love it.
It's so beautiful.
Yay.
And since then, we've manifested so much joy in our lives, so much joy that Julie has a joyful event coming up, and we talked about that a lot in the podcast. She has her very first film coming out. It's called Hungry for More.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it? It's so exciting.
Yes.
It's coming out soon.
Thank you.
She's sharing her most private inner self with the world, and she's going to just do so much good, so much healing, so much love and light.
Thank you.
Tell us about the film.
So Hungry for More is a film that I did earlier this year, and it's a short film. It's documentary style, and it really, I share very openly my journey and struggles with using food to cope with life and cope with emotions. And it started really young. These were stories that I used to never share, that I was really in the dark about, that for a long time I had a lot of shame about. And frankly, doing the film was quite vulnerable. The scariest thing about doing this film is just being really out there with these stories that, they happen. They're part of my life. And a lot of what I share was really their intimate, personal details and experiences that were very painful at a time. I feel very blessed that I can share them today, that I'm at a place that I have that strength to be able to do that. And there's still vulnerability and feelings that come up with just sharing things about, how I felt about my body, or comments that people made to me, or stories, that I lived out around food, or secret eating at my former in-laws' house. I mean, there's a lot in the film. I don't want to give it away, but it's raw and it's vulnerable. And it's definitely putting my values and my belief in the importance of this work, and making a difference with you and with others, that is worth it. And it was very scary to just sit there and kind of bear it all. I wanted to produce this film because I really believe that any dark period, anything that I've gone through, I made a deal with myself that it would not be in vain, that I would be able to help other people, be a light, be an example, share what I've gone through so that I could really make an impact. One of the most painful things about having a food addiction and dealing with emotions with food is being alone with that, feeling very alone and in the dark, and feeling like there was no one else. Sometimes I had really dark thoughts, and I wanted to do this so that those of you who are struggling with any addiction, with any kind of using substance or food to handle life, can know that you're not alone. There's a way to shift this way of being. There's a way to create self-love and self-care and self-compassion. There's a way to transform and really move through these experiences. I'm living proof of that. And so for me, it came from this place of wanting to share what really has made a difference for me, because if there's anyone out there that's alone, or feeling scared, or feeling trapped, or lost, or stuck, or just disgusted, or discontent, or, like crappy about themselves, I get it. Like I really, 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 really get it. And I'm here to really illuminate that doesn't have to be that way, and you're not alone. And there are ways to really make changes so that you can have a life you love. And that is why I did this film. So it's interesting, the night before shooting this film, I got this feeling of just complete vulnerability and overwhelm, and wondering, what the heck am I doing? Why am I sharing all of these things that frankly I had buried in journals, hoping no one would ever see them? In fact, I even threw out most of those journals. It was that embarrassing and raw. And I found myself, driving literally on autopilot to the nearest CVS, like literally about to get M&Ms, which are you'll see in the film, those are my thing. That's like my drug. And anyhow, driving to get that and just realizing, oh my God, what am I doing? And I ended up not getting them, but I will tell you, so it's not like I, live this perfect life where I don't have issues with eating or body image or shame. It's not that. It's just, I think through a lot of the self-work that I've done and really looking at how to love and care and have compassion for myself, it was just miraculous. I was able to literally turn the car around.
Yay.
Like I did a U-turn and I was like, that's not what I want. That's not what I'm hungry for.
Yeah.
What I'm hungry for is some love, some comfort. So I went home, I asked my husband to give me a huge hug, which I do all the time. And sometimes if he's not around or someone's not around, for me, it's about how to give that to myself. So making a cup of tea, taking a bath, just being loving. That looks a lot of different ways depending on the day and the moment. So it's really about what are we hungry for? And often whether it's food, for me, it was in a bag, a box, or in the fridge. For many, it could be in a bottle. It could be, something that you make, a concoction, drugs. It could be shopping. It could be, there's so many different things that we can turn to as human beings to not want to deal with the feelings we have. And for me, I got to a place where it was more painful. It was more painful to be locked up and trapped in myself and my shame and thoughts than it was to change. There's the quote, the caterpillar thought its life was over until it became a butterfly. I really felt like I got to the point where there was no other option but to start doing this work on myself. And it has been the biggest blessing. It is not for the faint of heart, yet it is a life changer. And to me, being hungry for more, hungry for really that peace, that inner love, that self-compassion, that is what it's about, and that is priceless. And I have a big thing where I have a contract with myself. Something can be really scary, yet when it's I'll use good language, when it's a heck yeah, then I do it. And I was scared, and it was a heck yeah, like in my whole body, I felt like I'm supposed to be doing this, and I want to make a difference for others that are hopefully going to watch this and really see for themselves they're not alone. You're not alone, that there's so many of us that struggle with food, with body image, with eating over feelings, with feeling not good enough. That is like my bag. And now today, at least, when it shows up, I know it, and I can say, oh, that's a not feeling good enough thought. Oh, okay. Let me just rearrange. Let me pause. It's just miraculous. It's saved my life.
You're such a blessing. Who is the target who can benefit from watching this film?
It's a great question. I would say anyone that has struggled with any kind of being in the dark kind of practices, whether it's, I did a lot of secret eating. It doesn't have to be food. I would say anyone that struggled with weight, with food. I'm female and tend to reach a lot of females, but I know many men that have also struggled with this. So
any addiction.
Oh yeah. We've got lots of peeps in my friends, family background that have other addictions too. And I would say, and have grown from it and really have a better life through it. So
that's
anyone.
The key. That's why I do Happy Healthy You. That's why you do what you do.
Exactly.
And that's all we want is for people to see the light and know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a freaking light at the end of the daggone tunnel. Right?
I love how you said, I'm in total alignment with that comment. I just felt it. There is definitely a light. And the thing is that, there's this great saying I did a lot of work in 12-step programs, and it says, don't stop before the miracle happens. And I really believe showing up to look at yourself, to look at how you're really feeling, to move through, like the only way is through. What I learned is I tried to go around and about and under and over. The only way was really through. And going through my feelings, through these dark periods, it's like, talk about the light. It's just stunning and authentic and freeing and peaceful, and it is worth it. And that's why I wanted to do this.
Very good. Yeah. I love it. We're on the same page.
Yay, as always.
Yeah, I feel like that's the reason I wrote my book. It's I went through this grieving process, and I know that there is hope at the other side, even though you're deep down, going there to that dark spot where you're not sure you're going to come out on the other side, but there is light, there is joy, there is
Totally.
so much more, and you're
Totally.
just a living example. So
Thank you.
So I'm excited. I can't wait to see your film, and
you.
tell us where we can find it and keep up with it, because if you happen to miss the first showing of
Yes.
it will be other places. So
Yes. So, great question. The debut of Hungry for More is going to be on Tuesday, August 2nd at the Real News Network in Baltimore. And looking to do more with this film, have submitted to other film festivals, looking to come up with a program around mindful eating, and not just mindful eating, but self-love. And then we'll also probably tie it into my book coming out in 2017, which is Get a PhD in YOU. It's all linked.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And more Joy Camp. Who knows?
Oh, more joy. We
Yeah.
definitely have more joy coming to you.
Yeah, more joy.
We're thinking Bali.
Bali.
Or somewhere
we
else.
We did say Bali.
We said
didn't
Bali. Or we don't know.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Lots of joy everywhere. It might be in Maryland too. Who knows?
Awesome. Have a happy, healthy day.
Yay! Mwah.
Mwah. Mwah.